What's up, everybody? I am going to add $300,000 to my income this year, and I'm going to tell you how. I'm going to tell you each of the three avenues I plan on using to make that addition to my income, and I've got a bonus at the end of the video for a fourth way that can help you add even more income and wealth. So do me a favor first though, subscribe to the channel, and if you like the video, smash the thumbs up and leave a comment below if there's any questions you have or content you want me to shoot, or if there's a way that I could add value to you. So the first thing that I'm going to do this year is I'm going to expand on my fix and flips. I try and do one a year in the past. This year, I'm going to get 3 done. So my goal is to make $50,000 per rehab, so a total of about $150,000 between the 3 of them. And the way I intend on expanding on my fix and flips is, number one, I'm gonna start using outside money. Up to this point, I have self-funded my rehabs. So I'm talking with a couple hard money lenders and trying to interview them, and they're interviewing me at the same time to see which one's gonna be the best fit. I'm all about long-term relationships, so I wanna work with a lender that we can establish a relationship and work for years together. I'm gonna tap my personal network for deals. I've got some friends who do a ton of fix and flips. I've got friends who do wholesale. So once I've got the funding secured to expand, I'll tap on my friends and say, guys, I need a deal or two, push them my way. Once you've got funding and you've got deal flow, there's one last piece of the puzzle, and that is the crew to do the work for you. I don't do enough, and I'm not going to do enough even with 3, to have full-time staff to run the projects and do the work. So I will hire out with good subs to do the work that needs to be done, and I will hire out a project lead for each of them. It's probably gonna be the same guy to lead all 3 projects. I will not do all 3 at once. The goal is gonna be finish our farmhouse that we have under project right now, then grab the next rehab, get that rolling, grab the second rehab, get that rolling. Once the first rehab's done and on the market, we'll snag the third, finish the second, finish the third, get them all listed, and the goal is to have them all out the door late Q3, maybe early Q4 this year. So that's number 1, 150,000. Number 2, build, pardon my French, build a badass spec house. I am very passionate about my custom builds. We try and do 1 spec house a year, and goal, make around 100,000 on that one. Typically, that number would be higher, but the market the way it is, interest rates the way they are, I think it might even be a struggle to make 100, but our target price point on our spec houses is a little north of $1 million. So if we can't recapture 10%, it almost doesn't make it worth doing it. But like I said, it's a passion project. I love them. It's not about making money on them. We use the best materials that we can use. We use phenomenal cabinetry, custom made cabinetry, gorgeous counters. And it's not just the finishes. We focus most of our effort and energy into building a phenomenal building envelope. Air sealing a house is tremendously important. Great windows makes all the difference for comfort and quality of living inside of the house. If your windows don't leak air, you can filter your air in the house better and not have as many particles coming from outside, pollution, dust, that. And tying into that, great HVAC systems with proper filtration. So building a killer house, built very well and targeting in that $1 million plus range, not cutting any corners on the house. I have another channel when I'm doing new construction stuff where I do weekly updates and kind of nerd out on the science of it. If you guys ever check that out, it's Pinnacle Builds, and you'll see that we make decisions that cost us extra money that will not yield us a better sale price, but it makes for a better home. So we do not cut corners. Should be feasible to do 100 there. So between 3 rehabs and 1 custom home, we're at 250. So we just need 50 more. I know I say just, but I promise you, if you get your mind in the right place and you start to view things in a different way, 50 becomes a much more obtainable number. We also, my better half and I launched a online auction platform late last year. We actually wrapped up our first auction, I think it was on like December 30th. We just wrapped up our second auction last week. So the other 50, the plan is we're gonna grow that company. And the plan is to grow it to net about 100,000 this year, which shouldn't be terribly difficult. I actually think it should be relatively easy to net higher than that, but the goal is to pump as much money back into that company as possible for growth. So the plan is to keep the majority of the money in the company to focus on growth, seeing as we really don't need the capital out of it for any other projects right now. And by pouring money back in at the early stages, it allows you to grow your business faster. So the areas that we're going to pour the money back into to hopefully yield us a relatively easy net of 100,000, which if you're doing the math and following along, that would put me at 350, but the whole 100 wouldn't be mine. My better half and I are 50-50 partners in this avenue. And so she would take 50 and I would take 50. So that would leave me at my 300 number. The way we're gonna spend the money to grow the company is, first and most important, we're gonna increase our spend on marketing. Right now, we're only advertising on Facebook and it's done rather well so far, but we wanna branch that out to local advertisements, like direct mailers and stuff. And I know that sounds old and antiquated, but this is a local pickup only business. So our target demographic is very centralized around the business. So we're gonna give direct mailers a shot on that. In addition to that, we want to shoot a couple of video marketing pieces to run on YouTube as advertisements, and we want to start advertising on Google. We think if we branch into all of those in conjunction with Facebook, should help us reach a bigger audience. The second thing we'll be doing is increasing our buying of inventory, increasing our individual auction sizes, increasing our frequency of auctions. We've been starting them about every 2 weeks right now. We want to get that down to a week. And in order to get that down to a week, we need to streamline our process. So right now our process is kind of clunky, and with clunkiness comes wasted time, and with wasted time comes a longer time between auctions. So as we tighten up on our process and we start to shave down some of the inefficiencies and get our time to process inventory down, we can hit that 1 week goal. So those are the 3 avenues I plan on using to add $300,000 of bottom line income to my year. 3 rehabs, badass custom spec house, and growing our online auction company to net us 100K. And I promised you a bonus at the end, which would be avenue number 4. And this is something that you should do all of the time, no matter what, because it will help you tremendously in many, many facets of life. Find a way to add more value to people than you could ever expect for them to give you. If you go above and beyond to help people, find ways to drive business to them, find deals for them, find ways to make their life easier in a way that they could almost never repay you, is the best way to do it. And don't do these things hoping for somebody to give you something. Don't be like, well, I did 20 hours worth of work helping this person, they owe me $20. Nope, do it without any expectations of reciprocal action, and do that genuinely. And I promise you, if you do that day in and day out, year in and year out, it will do more for growth than you could ever imagine. Thank you for tuning in. Any questions, put in the comment box below. We love you guys. Goodbye.